why don't I give a 30-second overview of each episode?
Okay.
What are we at?
Episode
5 and 6. Cool. So 5 and 6. So I get back into my notes here. So 5 was Matthew Fitzpatrick and DJ, which again I think they did a really good job here of doing the two contrasting personalities here. But
which, real quick, Scaff, I've been big on the Matthew Fitzpatrick train for a long time. I really have been. I've been a big fan of his since he won the USAM. He's like my always sneaker pick in my Masters pool. And so it was really good to see him win. I was like, man, he's getting his shine. He deserves it.
You're ride or die. Mostly die. In regards to the Masters. But I'll just say from this episode, DJ was pretty bland. I wanted more from him. But for some reason, the Fitzpatrick storyline got me super emotional. Watching him come back and win this tournament, or win the U.S. Open, it hit me hard. And I'm not sure if you've got there yet, but you'll definitely feel that too with how much you've been behind the guy. But I think part of it is because it really just shows. Much of the episode is about how much he grinds and practices and studies the game and literally writes down every single shot he's ever hit for the last 10 years, which is a total nerd move, which I kind of hate. But it just showed how much it meant to him. He won the USAM here 10 years ago or so. So such a good story. Hit me right in the feels, and very solid episode.
Yes, obviously he's very naturally gifted, right? But I think they did a good job of showing how hard he's had to work in order to reach that point, and how getting over the top of winning in the United States was a really big deal to get that first PGA Tour win and first major championship win. And it's just almost poetic in the sense that it happened at the same place where he won the U.S. Amateur as well, at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts. So yeah, no, it was a great episode for Matt Fitzpatrick. For DJ, honestly, that's what I expected. I know we wanted more. Maybe you wanted more Paulina. I don't know, but it was what I expected it to be. But also watching that, these are my thoughts. I see why nobody hates DJ for jumping over to LIV. This is why DJ hasn't ruffled the feathers in the same way that the other guys have, being on the LIV tour. He's like, yeah, I think it's a bunch of BS. Giving his reasons personally, all of them have. I get the play I get the play less and get paid more. Okay, are you really playing that less? But that's not the point. But I didn't hate it, but that's what I expected.
I think you said it's simple. I think anyone would work less to be paid more. If you wouldn't, there's something wrong with you. And I was like, buddy, I don't know if it's simple. I wouldn't characterize it as simple. This is a big controversial decision. It's not simple. And like you said, I don't think they're going to end up playing that much less. So we'll see how it plays out for them.
That's right. And then moving on to episode 6, T-Bone, we have Collin Morikawa, Tony Finau. I guess I didn't realize how many kids Tony Finau has. Just saying. But it was a good episode for both of them, I would say. Again, that's why I'm not saying that's why I picked Morikawa for the Players Championship, but dude, the guy's an absolute animal. I think those guys got a lot of fans from watching this episode. What were your thoughts?
So I've talked about fashion a lot on this show, and probably the most intriguing part of the entire show, because I've never known what this process looks like or how it goes. But when the Adidas golf outfitters are pitching their styles to Morikawa, I thought that was the coolest thing. That's something I've always wanted to see behind the scenes. And it was hilarious. They gave him, in Morikawa's defense, they gave him one of the worst looking outfits I've ever seen. It was olive pants and a tangerine floral graphic shirt. And he was like, I like the olive pants, but I'm wearing it with white. He's like, I think you think I like this, but I think you just like it. I don't like this. And he was super cutthroat with him, but I thought that was such good content. I've always wanted to know how that process works for releasing new clothing lines or dressing players for the majors. So that was awesome. And then all the emotions I felt for Fitzpatrick were like multiplied when I watched the Finau episode, watching what him and his wife had been through, what losing their parents, and watching him battle back from hitting range balls into a garage door growing up to now being a PGA Tour player. So that was a great episode. Probably one of the better ones of the series was episode 6. Loved it. And yeah, that Adidas clothing part of the episode was exactly what I was looking for. So all for that.
It's not surprising coming from the fashion guy of the group.
Yeah.
That was for sure. Yeah. Because there are sometimes some of those guys rolls out in those outfits, and you're like, what happened here? I would love to be in those meetings with Tiger and Nike. That would be outrageous.
I don't think there's much said in those.
What, like, hey, what shade of red do you want to wear?
Yeah.
Or what do you think Tiger's first reaction was when he saw the mock turtlenecks back in like 2003 or 4? Do you think he was like, hey, I want to roll with it?
Didn't he win the mock turtlenecks when he won in 18 or 19?
19, yeah. Because he brought it back.
Yeah.
He was the only guy. Only Tiger can pull off that look, I think.
Yeah.
There were some tough looks there with like Robert Garrigus rocking the mock turtleneck with the players.
No, it didn't work for a lot of people.
No, it did not.
I don't think it aged well, but yeah, Tiger's on one to pull it off. Especially now, this day and age.
Yeah. Going back to Fitzpatrick real quick, and then we'll move on to top 5. I forgot he was in the final group at the PGA Championship. I think you said it a week or two ago, but what I love about this Netflix Full Swing series is that it's a great reminder what happened the season before. I forgot how much in the mix Will Zalatoris was at the U.S. Open, too. He was one putt away from being in the playoff in the PGA and in the U.S. Open. Like, the guy's right there. It's crazy. It's a great reminder of all who's in the mix. Also, low-key, loved how they finally showed some Masters coverage for Morikawa and Finau, especially for the Scheffler episode. I think you said it. They just kind of blew by it a little bit, and he's the freaking winner.
Oh,
but, yeah. No, it's good to see that.
One thing, I don't know if I didn't know this. I'm admitting it. I thought this was super cool. I didn't know about the numbers that the caddies are given. That's the order that you check in at the Masters.
That was great.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. I thought that was so cool. The behind the scenes of what happens at Augusta, and yeah, that was awesome. So I think Tony was saying some guys are like superstitious. They want the number they had last year. So if they're going to check in and they see what number they're in line they're at, they'll go back and come back like 30 minutes later. So I thought that was really cool. And I thought it was pretty funny how he parked in like the Champions parking lot and had to move his car and stuff. So a lot of cool stuff like that whenever I find something I didn't know about Augusta, it's awesome. I love it.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Totally obsessed with the place. Don't care. Everybody should be as well.